Well, with this recent snowfall across West Michigan, chances are you've had to shovel and or snow blow your sidewalks. But did you know you could actually face fines if you fail to clear those areas? So in this week's Know the Law segment, Attorney Tom Sinus is here to tell us exactly what you need to know about snow removal laws. And this is very pertinent. I've got a new puppy. I need to walk her every day or she's bouncing off the walls. And I found some of my neighbors haven't quite done as much as I would hope they would because it's been a couple days now.
Boy, this last week has kind of brought that out, right?
Right.
And I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't have to do this segment this year, that maybe we'd get all the way through and not have to talk about it.
Made it almost through January, though.
But yeah, so what are you encountering when you're out there? Well, you're encountering people who are probably trying to do their best, and it's easy to lose sight, though, that we have some basic rules in the law about snow removal.
Yeah.
And we have kind of an intersection of two different kinds of law. We have local law, which is sometimes called local ordinances.
All right.
And then we have some provisions of state law. Obviously, the local law depends, of course, on where you live, and the state law applies around the state. So locally, let's say you live in Grand Rapids. We use Grand Rapids as an example because they have a very clear and succinct ordinance about what you got to do after a snowfall.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple. It says this: the occupant or occupants of every property within the city or the owners of the property shall clear any accumulation of ice or snow from the public sidewalks adjoining the property within 24 hours of an accumulation.
There you go.
All right. Of course, what is an accumulation, right? Everybody has a different view on that. But what's interesting about this is that it says that you've got 24 hours to clear the sidewalks, and the clearing has to be either done by the owner or the occupant.
Yeah, landlord or the person who's living there.
Which is why sometimes people will see in their lease that they have the obligation as the tenant to do the snow removal, or the landlord. So if you're renting, you certainly want to know that. If you're a homeowner, you certainly want to keep track of that 24-hour clock, because what happens if you don't get to it? Well, then the city ordinance kind of escalates from there, and it says that if the property owner's been told that they need to clear this accumulation, and now 48 hours has gone by, well, then the city can start undertaking their own efforts to remove your snow.
Okay.
And no shocker here, when they start doing that for you, they don't do it for free.
No, they don't,
Right? So they end up removing the snow, and they then invoice the homeowner, and there can also be a fine on top of that.
Okay.
So, of course, right, we want to be good neighbors.
Sure.
When you're out with your puppy, you don't want to have the snow.
Right.
The general idea, as we talk about so often, is do what's right? Do what's sensible, and I think 24 hours is more than fair.
Yeah.
Remember, too, that if, heaven forbid, somebody were to fall on your property,
good point,
because you didn't clear the snow,
there's
this rule that says if you violated an ordinance, well, that might be other evidence that you weren't being careful here.
Sure. Eliminate one thing away right there. Good idea to
Exactly. So it's hard, especially for us now, because we were just hoping we wouldn't have to get those shovels and snow blowers out, and now we do, so let's just keep it going.
All right, 2 more months of winter to go. Where do people track you down, Tom?
They can find us online at www.sinusstramus.com. Give us a call in West Michigan at 616-301-3333, or shoot us an email at info@sinusstramus.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.